motorized pogo stick, gas-driven skates, and the swing wing. In this video, we'll take a look at 10 kids' toys banned for being so dangerous. Number 10. Satellite jumping shoes. Imagine this, you're a daring adventurer looking to explore the vast, unknown expanse of space. But wait, you need something to help you jump around on the moon's surface. What do? You whip out your satellite jumping shoes, of course. These bad boys are made out of metal and coil springs, which clamp over your real shoes like roller skates. And let me tell you, they look like torture devices straight out of a medieval dungeon. But hey, who cares about aesthetics when you're on a mission to discover the secrets of the universe, am I right? So you might be saying to yourself, I want to be the talk of the town, and maybe even the galaxy. Sign me up. But hold your horses there, cowboy. One misstep and you could end up jumping right off the surface of the moon and straight into a hospital bed with broken ankles. Number 9. Thingmaker creepy crawlers. The Thingmaker system was an interesting contraption. At its core was a hot plate with an internal heating element that could heat up to a scorching 400 degrees Fahrenheit. That's hot enough to seriously burn your skin. And what did kids do with this terrifying device, you ask? Kids could mix and match colors to create their own Frankenstein-like creatures, which sounds innocent enough until you realize that this stuff gives off fumes when heated up. And let's not forget about the increased child protection and toy safety regulations that kicked in during the 1970s. Mattel, the makers of Thingmaker, found themselves in a tight spot when it became difficult to sell a toy that could burn a child's hands off and give them lung damage from inhaling fumes. In the end, Thingmaker disappeared from toy shelves in 1973, leaving behind a trail of burnt fingers and toxic fumes. Number 8. Air Blaster. The Air Blaster didn't shoot darts or bullets, it fired blasts of air, which may not sound that dangerous at all. But trust us, it was. Kids were drawn to the Air Blaster like moths to a flame. And why wouldn't they be? The toy looked like it had come straight out of a science fiction movie. Kids quickly learned that this toy gun was no joke. One blast from the Air Blaster could knock over an entire tower of blocks or send a plastic cup flying across the room. It was a weapon of mass destruction in the hands of a child. It may have been just a harmless blast of air, but when you're firing it at your little brother's face, it can be a terrifying experience. Not only that, kids started firing it at each other's ears, which resulted in permanent damage to their hearing. No wonder it got banned. If you think these were dangerous, things are about to get more dangerous. Keep watching to see what's next. Number 7. 1962 Mattel Vacuform. The Mattel Vacuform, a classic toy from 1962, allowed children to create their own plastic molds. A child would place a sheet of plastic over a metal mold, heat it up, and then use the vacuum pump to suck the plastic down onto the mold, creating a three-dimensional object. Sure, it was a dream come true for budding artists and designers, but it was also a nightmare for parents and caregivers. Duh! Why, you ask? Well, let me break it down for you. First of all, that heating element was like a mini volcano waiting to erupt. What? Yeah, it could get extremely hot and cause burns that would make even the toughest cowboy cry. What is it with these toys designed to melt kids' skin off? And let's not forget about the vacuum pump, which was powerful enough to cause injury if a child's fingers got caught in it. It had the potential to make a fiery mold of a kid's finger. The plastic sheets used with the toy emitted toxic fumes when heated. Can you imagine little Timmy or Susie inhaling that stuff? No wonder it posed a serious health hazard. Number 6. Little Lady Stove. Back in the 1960s, it was banned because it was generating a scorching 600 degrees Fahrenheit. That's hotter than most regular ovens and stoves, and it's supposed to be for kids? Are you kidding me? Can you imagine giving this thing to a kid? It's like handling them a ticking time bomb with a cute little bow on top. Here you go, kiddo, have fun burning down the house. No thanks. But wait, there's more. The name itself is enough to make you shudder. Little Lady. Seriously? I mean, I get that it's supposed to be cute and all, but it just sounds so wrong. It's just bad. You know, like, oh, watch out for Little Lady, she'll roast you alive. All jokes aside, this thing was seriously dangerous. It could easily start a fire, and the fact that it was marketed towards children is just mind-boggling. Can you imagine the horror of finding your kid playing with this thing, and then realizing that it's heating up to a temperature that could melt steel? Yikes. Number 5. Swack board game. First released in 1968 by Ideal, Swack is a game that taunts its players with the challenge to take the cheese with care, do you dare? It may seem innocent at first, but don't be fooled. Similar to other games that test your anticipation, Swack will push your nerves to the limit as you make your moves while facing the imminent threat of a jump scare. Oh yes, you heard that right, a jump scare. That's because the object of the game is to carefully take cheese pieces off the trap and be the first player to reach the finish space. The giant mousetrap that sits in the center of the game is just waiting to snap shut and scare the living daylights out of you. Whoa! With every turn you risk triggering the trap, causing the metal bar to come crashing down and, well, breaking your fingers. This is a game that'll have you sweating, trembling, and screaming for your life. It's a game where one wrong move could mean losing a finger. Number 4, Pogo. You're in a dimly lit room with shadows creeping along the walls. You reach for a box of Pogo and open it with shaking hands. As you lift the lid, the eerie sound of creaking bones echoes through the room. Scary! The plastic bones are labeled with various parts of the body. You feel a shiver down your spine as you pick up the plastic femur that's pointed at one end. So why was it so dangerous? You throw the bones in the air and they tumble and spin. You focus on the femur and try to catch the bones on its pointed end. They fly up on the string and you race to catch them as they fall back down. Wait, it's pointed. Looks pretty harmless until you completely miss the bones and gouge your mate's eyes out. I'm guessing the toy wasn't thought out too well. Kids just want to have fun, not end up in the emergency room minus an eye. Banned! Starting out, things get even worse. Keep watching until the end. Number 3, Swing Wing. The swing wing is like the hula hoop, but instead of swiveling around your waist, it goes on your head and twirls around as you move your neck and body. Sounds harmless enough, right? Wrong. The toy was so dangerous that it claimed the lives of dozens of children before the FBI intervened. It's hard to believe, but the swing wing was responsible for more fatalities than even the most notorious convicts of the time. Parents were warned of the dangers of this toy, but their warnings fell on deaf ears as kids continued to beg for it. This toy is not only a strangulation device, but caused some irreversible spinal injuries. The FBI shut down production at the Swing Wing factory in Dublin, Ohio, but it was too late. The damage had already been done. Kids all over the country were playing with these cursed toys, unaware of the danger they were putting themselves in. It was incredibly easy to get tangled up in the cord. Kids would get so caught up in the fun of twirling the toy around their heads that they wouldn't realize they were slowly strangling themselves. Number 2, Petrol Driven skates. These skates are the ultimate adrenaline rush for thrill seekers who love to live on the edge. With a top speed of 60 miles per hour, you'll feel the wind rushing through your hair and the pavement zipping by beneath your feet. Wait, what? That's faster than some cars! It all started when Tony was online and spotted these skates from China. He wanted to find a faster way to get around town. He was tired of walking, biking, and driving. He wanted something that could take him places in style and speed. So he went ahead and bought them. He loved the idea of the petrol-driven skates. Tony was thrilled and just couldn't wait for them to arrive. But when he brought the skates to a public park to test them out, things took a turn for the worse. The skates were so fast that Tony lost control and crashed into a nearby bench, sending it flying into the air. Tony had a broken arm and a broken leg. These skates were a big mistake. Tony's accident led to them being banned, and Customs got the alert for every airport. Soon word spread, and these lethal skates became a felony to own. Number 1, Motorized Pogo Stick. This is a motorized pogo stick that'll have you soaring through the air like a superhero, but with the added thrill of the risk of crashing down to the ground. This pogo has a high-powered motor that'll launch you into the air with such force that you'll feel like you're flying. And with its specially designed hopper, you can jump up to 10 feet in the air. That's right, you heard me correctly, 10 feet. That's as high as professional basketball hoops. And that's what makes this pogo stick so thrilling. The adrenaline rush of not knowing if you'll make it to the other side. It's like bungee jumping, but instead of a cord, you have a motorized pogo stick. It's like skydiving, but instead of a parachute, you have a motorized pogo stick. You get the idea. But beware, my friends, because with great excitement comes great danger. But wait, there's more. It's powered by gas. The pogo stick has been known to cause a few broken bones, bruises, and scrapes. This thing was so powerful it could literally kill someone. Sounds like fun until a lethal accident happens. Yikes! Enjoyed the video? Now watch this one.